And why did you decide to move using the global talent visa?
So to pay tax in UK, so that's the reason.
So prior to that, what was your background?
Since it's a lot of privatization handled by, so sometimes it could be really expensive to.
The interview is not going to be very long. I think it's going to take us maybe half an hour because I have some basic questions about your work and life in the UK also in general. And first, I wanted to know, why did you decide to move from India to UK?
Okay, yes. So I have a little bit of story. So I did my master's in the UK. Basically, I was doing robotics and automation. So it was nearly 2016. I was doing my master's there. So that's the reason I want to explore more into dynamics of robotics. That's the reason I went there. So so I did my and then I came to India. So there I've started to work as a more of AI and more of into robotics, so more of AI and machine learning engineer side. So that's the reason. But yeah, so still, I want to come back to UK. In more booming happening in AI. A lot of startups companies are emerging in AI communities, and digital technology startups are booming in London, and especially in financial sectors. So that's the reason I want to move back to UK. And what is it? I had a job in India, but still. With regards to quality of life and more work-life balance and booming the technologies. So that's the reason I wanted to move to the UK. Yeah.
And why did you decide to move using the global talent visa and not any other option?
So there. Usually the people use a Tier 2 visa. Most probably, the Tier 2 visa is a little bit tricky, because the employer from UK, they need to provide the visa to the foreign nationals so that they can come in here and work. So, but still a lot of complicated process because they have to do a background check, and just a lot of fixed hikes. So a lot of complications are there. So that's the reason. I was trying that, but still it's one of the heavy grinding process, and the opportunities are very less. So the good thing about global talent visa. So I didn't made up my mind to go on that visa, but because when I read about global talent visa, so the name itself, it's really overwhelming. So should I be a Steve Jobs or Elon Musk? So so that kind of word is it. So do I need to be exceptionally talented in the world? So that's a kind of overwhelming came into mind. But yeah, so that's why I was having that. But my mentor told me that you can try it because it fits your criteria. So I thought, okay, that's really great because the good thing about global talent visa, you get 5 years of to live in the UK. So where you can work or study or you can do anything on that. So that's great. So that you get easily job in that. So yeah, I tried on that. And I've evaluated myself in those criteria and whatever the free careers. It was really great. So that's the reason I've decided to move to on global talent visa. Yeah.
Technically, it's more freeing. It doesn't tie you down the same way that the Tier 2 visa does, because then you have to work for this exact employer that provided you with the opportunity.
Exactly. Right. Yeah. Exactly. For example, if you have 5 years, you cannot move to any other employer. So that's a kind of this is a modern prison, I would say. Yes. So I have to restrict with them. Yeah. So that's kind of, what if you don't like culture or something, you cannot move yourself on that. So that's the reason. But this is a more of premium visa, Tier 1 visa, so that you work on any companies you want. So it's really great. Yeah.
And what's interesting? I noticed that, if I get it correctly, that currently you are working at a Laser Group, which is a company based in USA with offices in India and in Australia. So why choose them when you're in UK and you have a global talent?
Oh yeah, I'll tell you that. I'll tell the reason behind. So basically, it's a US based company. They have office in India. So when I had this visa, I was working with them. So I was working with one of the machine learning engineer there. So once I've got my visa, so because it's like the visa I get for next 5 years, global talent visa, so that I have to go to the UK and search for the job. and get the job there. So what is it? They have agreed with them so that I just can move to the UK. So since maybe just 2 months or 3 months, so I can work with them. So then once I get a job in the UK, so that basically I'll just leave the company as a group. So that's what the plan. So currently, and tomorrow is my last day. So with Alice Group, and the good thing about yeah, exactly. Yeah, tomorrow is my last day. Alice Group, so I'm just leaving them. So it was really great company to work with, but yeah, unfortunately, I have to be in UK-based companies, so to pay tax in UK. So that's the reason I have to leave that company. But yeah, I'm joining the new company. It's one of the reputed bank in UK, so I'm going to join them on coming Monday. So in London, yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the company you're about to start working in on Monday?
Oh yeah, so correct. Yeah, so basically, it's more of I was in a fintech group. So the new company which I'm going to join is again the fintech. They're in a financial crime and what is a fintech as well. So they have loans and credit cards. So still a lot to know more about them. So but still they're still staying in a fintech sector. Yeah. So that's what. It's one of the banks. So yeah. So that's what I'm going to join with them. Yeah. It's based on London. Yeah.
So you're gonna. But are you going to be moving? Currently, you are living in Manchester, yes?
Yeah, basically, I'm living in Manchester, so it's like a hybrid work with them. Just once in a month or twice in a month, I can go to London office and I just be there for one day. So then you just rest of the time it's a hybrid work from home. Yeah. So that's the reason I'm staying in Manchester. Yeah, I have a lot of personal connections with Manchester. So since I did my masters in Manchester, so it's a city that I love. So that's the reason I want to be in Manchester. Yeah.
But when you say hybrid, you mean that in Manchester you are working from home, or that the company has another branch in Manchester? No, so you're
they have branches in southern UK, so basically London and some of the areas. So not in Manchester. So yeah, that's the reason hybrid. So basically work from home. So whenever if they plan to meet, what is it, once in a while or twice in a while in office. So I've just booked my tickets to London. So it's just if I can get a fast train from here, just within 2 hours, so I can travel to London and just meet them and come back. Yeah, so that's the kind of system it's going to be. Yeah.
Well, but can you walk me a little bit through the background you had for the application? Because you got the visa this summer, right? Like just a few months ago. So prior to that, what was your background apart from your master's and from working in a later group? What was? How did you show global talent that you got talent?
Yes, exactly. So that's a kind of. I'll tell you about a little bit global talent visa. So usually, the people who apply for global talent visa, they are more of startup founders and CEOs, CTOs, who was already showcased as being entrepreneurs or something. So and even a lot of people with 15 years of experience, 10 years of experience in digital technology. That's the kind of people usually apply. So there are two cases in global talent visa. One of them is called global exceptionally talent, and one of them is promising talent. That means what is that? I can promise that I can going to be a promising person in the particular leading industry. So that's a kind of two types of there. So there is not much difference to the visa system. The only difference is the global talent. What is it? The exceptionally talented people can get their indefinite to remain to live in 3 years. Basically ILR in 3 years. But the promising it's going to be for 5 years you have to stay. So that's a 2 years difference between that. So yeah, I was just having 3.5 years experience, so which is really less. So I thought, okay, so I'm not going to make it that. So that's the kind of state of mind I had. So previously, before this Alice Group and everything, so I started my career in more of full data science and AI. So that's the kind of after finishing my robotics from automation from University of Salford from Manchester. So I went back to India and joined one of the startup company called DataC.ai. So they do a lot of computer vision, image processing. It's more of aerospace drone analytics company. So yeah, I've lead a team there. So I've trained a lot of people and I've worked on a lot of proof of concept. So that's a kind of profile I had. So it was nearly 3.6 years experience of machine learning and AI. Profile I had. At the same time, I did not, I was always contributed to the open sources and open source communities like Stack Overflow, GitHub, and writing some Medium articles about, crypto projects and metaverse and some of the, I use one of the tech stack called Python. So I've wrote some of the Python packages which can help the community. So that's the kind of things also I've done. And also some of the side contracts. Basically, I work as a full-time, the company, but Saturday, Sundays. So that I can work for some of the companies, right? So to learn more. So it's not always about the money. It's about you can learn more. So I was helping, I was into some of the contract with startup companies. So they wanted to create their core machine learning, models, so that just so those kind of contracts they have. So that's how. Basically, so that's how I reframe myself and just check my profile. Okay, so there is a one visa guide from TechNation. Basically, if you're applying for a global talent visa in digital technology, it's called TechNation. That the endorsing body, they will basically check our application, basically evaluate our applications. So that TechNation has a visa guide. So they have a really long, big visa guide that can really help us to crack and we can match our profiles. Okay, so am I fitting into this particular criteria, so that so you can self-evaluate and apply into that. Yeah, so that's a kind of thing I would say.
So you did have some help along the process of getting together your profile and the visa guys.
Oh yeah, so basically, a lot of people think that okay, so this is more complicated visa, so I should go via some of the visa consultants or solicitors. So that's what they do, the audition. But I would say, from my personal experience, it does not even need that. So it's a straightforward visa, because they're not expecting a lot of legal documents is going to happen. They're expecting a straight document from you. Basically, I'll list out. It's basically they're expecting a CV copy, basically CV and personal statement, basically to why you want to come to UK and what UK have and what do you have for UK. So that's the kind of things they ask in the personal statement, and 10 evidence of your documents, like I said, right? So last 5 years of contributions. So that contributions to anything could be the wallet, or it could be mentoring someone, or doing some projects, or impacting the technical business, showing news articles. So that's kind of 10 evidence you have to submit. So, and three recommendation letters. Basically, these three are from your. It could be an industrial or as a leading expert, or your managers, or someone from the high position who knows you. And so that's the kind of things we have to submit. So that's why a lot of people get confused. Okay, it's complicated, so I should go to the consultant. But I would say, because I didn't go to anybody, so I used the TechNation visa guide. So I would say it's a exact mantra book for basically to crack the visa. So they have every individual points to cover up, so that you get all things. And one more good thing is they have TechNation visa forum. So that site help us, all of us, to you might have a lot of questions, confusion, so you can post things. So that forum is really helpful for me. So that's why I was able to crack all things by myself. Yeah. So
I love how you said it's not that complicated, and then you explained a huge process of preparing it. But
exactly. Yeah.
But about your life in UK now, I was wondering if you found a new job after you decided you have to quit Alacer because they're based in the US. Yeah, exactly. It was quite quick, so I was wondering how is the job market in Manchester right now? Are there a lot of job opportunities? Was it really that easy for you to find a new good place to hold?
Yeah, I'll tell you about that. So, so when I had my visa, so basically I was started to look for a job from India itself. So because I had 1 month time frame to move to UK, so I thought, okay, so why waste time? So let me give interviews from India itself. So yeah, that's why I was able to give interviews, and I've mentioned in my CV that I've got global talent visa. So basically, they let them to let them know I can work, because a lot of people look because a lot of people apply, but they'll not be having any visa sponsorship. So that's the reason recruiters, they want to more specific on that. So that's the reason I've started doing that. But yeah, I would say especially it could be Manchester or London. So all over the UK, the job market is really good. So I would say, I was literally attending at least 3 to 4 interviews per day. So in big days. So that's the kind of the level of interviews I had. So there was a lot of job openings over there. So not only machine learning. So a lot of, if you can take into account of digital technologies and various roles. So there is a lot of openings. It could be the reason behind the Brexit. So since they've come out of from Europe, so they have a lot of space available. And one more thing is UK is currently looking for more talented folks to be jumping. So I think this is a space I think a lot of people can come and contribute and get, gain things as well. Yeah. So yeah, the opportunity is really large. And one more surprise I had. So basically, I was traveling from India to UK. So when I landed, I booked some Airbnb to just stay for 1 month. So when I landed on that particular house, the first day itself, I've got a call saying that I've got an offer from one of the companies. So yeah, that's a little bit surprising. Yeah. So the reason I'm just saying that because that's the level of market is. They're looking for people to take opportunities. There is plenty of opportunities available. So all you have to do is just go to LinkedIn and change your location into UK. Then all things will happen on your own. So because 99% of the jobs run by recruiters here, so they always look for the right people in the LinkedIn. So people will come forward and start to pick you up. So that's a kind of situation in the UK. Yeah.
Sounds like a recipe for success. Thank you for sharing that advice.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
And but you spent quite a few months now, but you've also spent a year or 2 years in masters back in 2016.
Yeah. So basically, it was 1 year masters, 1 year and 4 months of. Yeah, I got extension. At that time there was only extension where you can stay for 4 months, and now the UK introduced they have post-study work visa that they can stay next 2 years. Basically, they can work for next 2 years. This is good. Yeah, so that's the kind of things that I currently do. Yeah.
And judging from all of that experience, and since it was so far apart, like you lived in UK before COVID and after COVID, so you can also compare like if public life changed in any way. I wanted to ask you if you could like highlight what are the best and worst qualities of living in UK. Like, what have you noticed?
Okay, so that's a little bit tricky question. So if I compare 2016 to now, so obviously there is an expense increase, or the living expense increased. So, but it happened all over the world. So, it does not happen only in yes, yeah. So I cannot simply compare on that. But I would say there are a lot of in my perspective, there are a lot of pros to live in the UK, and a little less number of cons as well. So, for example, from career perspective, so you've got a lot of emerging startups or emerging companies, and you can have a nice career there. And especially for myself, since I was in a fintech companies, so London would be the great hotspot to grow myself in particular career as well. So that's one of the point I would say. And the work culture, it's really great. So because I've always felt Europe has a mindset of work culture, especially having a nice work-life balance. So UK also continuing that, which is really great. People they don't push after the work hours, or not Saturdays, Sundays. So those things will not happen here. Which is really great. So India has opposite side. So India, it's really fast-paced level of developments going on in India. So people stretch a bit, or walk in the weekend. So it's a lot of difference here as well. And the good thing is competitive salary. Especially to the competitive salary is really good, so you get a nice particular compared to the rest of the world, so you get the nice salary to get it. And the thing is and I would say tourism is really great, especially UK tourism and rich culture. That's which is really great. So to explore, and people are really nice. I don't know. So people are really being very polite. So that's a one good thing. And good thing about I'm not comparing any other country. I'm just saying that there is no guns, which is really good. So you have less crimes. So people won't even get into very things and all. So which is really great. So you have more safe to be live in UK. So and free healthcare. So that's which is really great. So a lot of countries they did not have, but yeah, free healthcare. There is a pros and cons there as well. It's free healthcare, but always the processing times takes a little bit delay. But again, it's really great. I know you've got covered your health insurance and everything. That is really great. And one more thing is near to the Europe, so you can access. You cannot use the visa, but yeah, you can get tourist visa or something. You can access to the Europe, which is really great. You get 26 countries to access just within a 1 hour flight. You can travel to, you can access the Europe, so which is really great. And living in Manchester and London and other things and all, so you've got a great commute. You get a bus, trams, and wherever you want to go, right? So commuting is really great, and even very rural part of areas, you can easily access the commute, which is really great. And trains, they have real connections. And they have nice connections all over the UK, so that you can the main cities to the UK, so that you can easily access things. That is really good. And also sometimes they do a lot of as a con side. There are a lot of strikes happens. Train department, they give a strike, and I think nowadays happening. London, Tube Underground people, so that is a strike happen. So that could delay, but it is healthy. It's healthy for a civilization to do that. That's completely perfect. So and so trains can be a little bit expensive at times. Just since it's a lot of privatization handled by, so sometimes it could be really expensive to catch a train. But the good thing is you have always a bus there to catch the buses, and it's not that much expensive bus and all. So that's a kind of and. Yeah, there is nothing much about cons. Yeah, I would say British accent. It's not a cons, but yeah, to understand the British accent for the first time, it takes really because European English, American English, or all other Englishes, you can easily understand that. Yeah, British accent, it's really root. So yeah, it really takes a little bit of time to understand, but yeah, once you get into adapt to that, it should be fun. Yeah.
Have you had experience working with Scottish people or Irish people? Because I feel like their accent is like another level up on being difficult to understand.
Exactly. That's true. Yeah, of course. I've known some of Scottish people. Their pronunciation is completely different in English. So yeah. So but yeah, still it's nice people. Yes. It is. It's good to accompany that. Yeah.
And if I was to ask you maybe like one thing that surprised you the most in comparison, like of India and UK, what would you think of? What was like the thing that astonished you the most?
I would say quality of life. Quality of life is really great. So because I can tell you, there are a lot of people, even if I would stay in India for some time, I can get the same salary what I'm going to get in UK. Because you can get the same amount of salaries, but the thing is, it is less expensive. You have nice cities, IT hubs there. You can live for really less expensive. You can save a lot of amount of money. So that's one of the thing. But the thing is, quality of life is still lagging. So even the big cities. In the main cities are really okay. So, but yeah, so when you go outside, so quality of life, and more secure about the individuals, things and all. So I would say UK admired me the most. So it's about the people and the quality of life in UK, which really surprises me to be in UK actually. Yeah.
That actually pretty much sums up, I think, our conversation. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and giving advice. It was really curious. I was really curious about what you said. Really interesting. Thank you so much for agreeing to talk with us. And I guess have a nice. It's morning. It's still morning for you. So have a nice day.
Oh, it's a kind of noon. So yeah, it's a kind of noon. So yeah, it's a kind of it's still good morning as well. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, nice meeting you and. Goodbye.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks for the call, please. Yeah, have a great day. Yeah.